Everybody, I'm Joseph Bradley from Amen-Ra, one of the voices of Amen-Ra. It's day 4 on this trip. It's a shame that you can't see these mountains in behind me, but there's not much I can do with the lighting. Very limited to what you can do when you're traveling. It's a relatively beautiful day here. Just want to see what Spirit has to say today. I'm in an area full of twisters spinning all around me. I go to touch one and it snaps my fingers, so like it hurts to want to touch it, so I pull my hand back. I'm completely surrounded by these things. There is one way out, so I walk towards that way, and then they move in my path every time I go around them. So how am I supposed to? It seems like there's no way out. So how do you get out of a situation where there's no way out? But there's always a way out. That's what I've been shown many times. There's always a way out. So if I move right, it moves right. It's like they want to block me. So if I can't move forward, left and right without them blocking my path, which other direction do I have? I can go upwards, or I can go downwards. But to go down means I would have to take a long time to dig a hole. But I can't fly. I don't really have a shovel either. They show me things like this before, an impossible situation. The difference is that this time I'm just going to walk straight ahead, even if it hurts. Sometimes in order for you to move forward, it's going to hurt. You're going to have to do sacrifices. This is part of what the growing experience is as a human. So I walk forward, and when I hit when I hit the vortex, it cuts my hands, it cuts my body. But I just walk forward. It pulls me in. It pulls me into the tornado, and I feel like everything's spinning. And I feel like everything is spinning out of control. Then I grab onto something, that one thing, and it pulls me back down to the ground again. And I just keep pulling myself forward, and I fall out the other side. And I'm standing on a cliff, and there's a beautiful valley down below. I look behind me, and the vortexes, the tornadoes are gone. I stand up. It didn't hurt as much as I would think. I'm still in one piece. I look at the cliff, and it's a long way down. Or I could go back the way I came. Or I could just stay here for a long time. It's my choice. Instead, I start to climb down the cliff. And I realize this is going to take forever. It's such a long way down. So what I do, as I allow myself to fall, they jump off the cliff and they only fall practically nowhere at all. And a bridge forms underneath my feet and they walk down into the valley. And now a new future unfolds. Sometimes when life seems impossible, sometimes you have to just have faith and walk forward, even if it's going to hurt and cause confusion and pain. And sometimes you have to jump off the cliff to give up so many things in order to get what you want. Or you could just stay there and never grow at all and just be happy in the space that you're in. But we all know we're not driven to such things unless we're unhappy. We have to do something drastic in order to find happiness, because that's what we strive to do on this earth, is to try to be happy. And the things that seem impossible are not. They just seem that way. It's an illusion created by our own egos. There's a staircase now. The scene is completely changed. I'm walking up a staircase into the clouds, above the clouds, in this space. I keep walking. I go past the moon, basically walk right out of the solar system. I walk into our galaxy. I walk out of our galaxy. I continue the walk. Each step obviously is a very large distance. And I stop. It was a beautiful ball of light with strands, very long arms coming from it all over the place. It's like a sun that has massive explosions happening all the time, but they extend so far out. It was so beautiful. It was really cool to watch. They want me to go to this place. I start to walk towards it in a straight line. The strands of light go through my path. My path lights up beautiful rainbow colors. But the colors are intense. So it goes from red, purple, yellow, blue. It's just beautiful to watch. I keep walking. The strands hit again, and the colors again become vibrant, flowing from one to the other. I walk closer. The strands are hitting more often now. They're more intense. There's flashes of bright green now, very strong, and reds and blues, and every color in between. It keeps getting more intense, and then the colors become so bright that you can't even really make them out anymore. It's just such an intense white light. I can't see anything at all, even if I put the hands in front of my face to block my eyes. It is so intense. I walk into the center, into the orb itself. It is just pure white light. However, my eyes are starting to adjust. I changed the way I'm seeing things. I start to see people doing things, normal things. It's a long time ago, what we would call a long time ago. People were riding or have horses and carriages, riding around. People are dressed in very ornate clothing. They don't even notice me. I'm like a ghost walking through the town. There's a child that's standing in front of a horse and wagon as it's running by. I grab him and pull him aside. He looks at me and smiles. He starts to clap. He starts saying, "Look, look, look who's here. An angel has come. An angel has come." But everybody looks and does not see. Only the child sees me, and he calls me an angel. I just smile back at him. I touch his heart, and I continue to walk. Don't you not see, everyone? Look, there's an angel here. But nobody sees or believes the child. He starts to cry, so I go back to him. I put him on my knee. I say, just because somebody doesn't see it, doesn't believe, doesn't mean it's not real to you. Never forget that. There's no reason to cry, because you know it's the truth, and that's all that matters. You know what happened. Don't let people stomp the light inside your heart. Let it grow. Let it prosper. Let it shine over the whole world. Because that is the only way the world will change. He smiles really brightly. He gives me a big hug. People are staring at the child, wondering what is going on. They're confused. They start to believe him now, because he's sitting off the ground, hugging something without touching anything at all. And one person ran over and said, "I seen somehow somebody grabbed him and pulled him aside. Something invisible. Maybe the boy is telling the truth." He starts to smile now. And I walk away and he waves at me. And actually people start to wave too, even though they do not see me. I walk through the town. I'm flying now above the ground, watching the lakes and mountains and trees go by. There's a village again, and I land in the village. This time, I slow way down, slow way down, slow way down, 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 down. I look. This village is much older. There are swords here. There is no horse and carriage, but there is horses. It is probably in our time would be about medieval times, I guess. This village is too poor. It doesn't have much of anything at all. They do have horses, and they do have cattle. There is farming going on. I'm just walking through this village, not sure why I'm even here. People notice me now. They know that I am different, but they do see me. One lady comes up and starts screaming at me and pushing me. I do not know what she is saying. She's yelling at me. I try to understand what she is saying. She's pushing me back, screaming at me. A man comes running out, and he starts doing the same thing to me. They want me to leave because I am different. They have no tolerance for people like me. I look down, my hands are black. I am black. I am tall and thin. I walked, looks like I have been barely eating. I am dressed in rags. And everybody in the village starts throwing rocks at me, telling me to leave. I understand now what they are saying. The rocks hit me and hurt a lot. I start to run. One rock hits me in the back of the head and I fall to the ground bleeding. My bones are broken in places. They stop throwing the rocks. One man, he wraps something around me and drags me out of the village far away. I am broken and dying now. Intolerance. Accept people that are different. Why do we continue to do this? Why do you continue to do it? I'm laying dying. I don't know how I'm going to survive this. I could come out of this because I know it's only a spiritual journey. But it's important that I stay like this for now. A man rides by and sees me. He jumps off his horse. He looks at me and he starts to cry. He builds me something to put myself on. He bandages whatever he can to try to fix whatever. He resets some of my bones that were broken. He bandages my head and other parts of my body that are bleeding. He takes me to his house. It's a very crude place. It has a dirt floor. It has a grass roof. It's made out of mud, I believe. But it is dry. He takes me in, and his wife and children run to see what is going on. They bandage me over the next few weeks and even into the next few months until I'm able to walk again. I thank them. He understands. I am tired myself of the intolerance of this village. That's why we moved out here. They don't accept anybody that is different. And you are different. You're 7, almost 8 feet tall. What are you? Your skin is so dark. I have seen slaves like you, people that were being sold, but you were even more different. You were really tall and thin, and your eyes, they are unique, different. And you can go now. I walk out the door. Before I leave, I show them that I am a spirit. As I fade away, the one man starts to cry, and a woman runs and hides, afraid. Her husband takes her and says, "What are you afraid of? This is a gift for us, a gift of understanding and acceptance." I place my hand on the ground, and I cause the land to be fertile. I start to create gold. The man shakes his head. "Please do not do that. That will just cause grief and suffering for us. But the crops that will grow in the soil will sustain us so we can stay here and live a happy life. That is all we need. So thank you." I place my hand again on the ground and I speak just a few words. Anakaseyo forana. Hiranase. Harko vanala. The land is blessed. Your crops will be twice what they normally were before. And I walk away. It's interesting. That's all I'm going to share today in this video. It's interesting and sad how mankind treats each other. People wondering why alien races do not come here. Why would they? Show themselves. Reveal themselves to the world. We can't even accept a person's skin that is different. A person's height. A person's weight. A person that has a mental illness. A person that has physical illnesses. If you look down at people that are in wheelchairs, not all of us do, but there's a lot that do. You treat people that are blind, deaf, stupid, or they don't know anything. A person that you could have a doctor, an engineer come from a different country, and since they don't speak our language, we treat them like dirt, like they're dumb. Intolerance, not accepting people for who they are, is a plague on this world. That's all I have to say. I'm Joseph Bradley from Amun Ross, and I'm just one man trying to help change the world. But if we come together and we all start changing the world, then the world will truly change. Thank you very much.